Hey y'all, it's Sheila. I hope you're having a great day. Palm Springs Cindy did a video last week that spoke to me, and then I had a subscriber make a comment on a video I had done that spoke even more to me. And then Patty Rockstar Mom did a video Saturday morning about my story. That's what Palm Springs Cindy had done, and Patty asked that if you make or participate in this video, please give Cindy credit. I'm doing this video, my story. We all have a story. As a young girl, teenager, I was very confident in who I was. I was an independent, bubbly, effervescent young woman. I wasn't a leader at school or a follower. I was just myself. I had friends from all walks of life in school. The leaders, the followers, the athletes, the socialites, the wild kids, the shy and reserved students. I was friends with a lot of different types of people. I didn't get into a lot of things in high school that some people did. I mean, drugs and drinking. I didn't buckle to peer pressure. I don't think peer pressure back then was as strong as it is now, but I didn't give in to things because I knew who I was and I was comfortable in saying, no, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to do that. And then shortly after high school, I got married. I was 18 years old and married. This is not a bash your ex-husband video. He had certain thoughts on things, and I soon felt my personality being snuffed out. He had strong opinions on things like, we would go somewhere and he'd say, you wait here in the car. I don't like that shirt. I don't like that color on you. Or I don't like the way your hair looks today. Sheila, you know redheads should not wear red or pink. Maybe that's why I'm in red today. Maybe this is a little rebellion coming out. He was a business person, and we had a lot of social and work functions that we attended. And when we attended those functions, this would be me. Hello. I didn't voice myself. At 2 social functions we were at, he would be in one room, I would wander off to another room where a crowd of people were. I would be laughing, picking, cutting up, just having a good time, and he would walk in the room. And I would revert back to, on 2 occasions, someone walked up to him and said, going back in the other room. Sheila's a lot more fun when you're not around. That was very sobering. That was very sobering to hear someone tell him that. And I realized at that point, I wasn't myself anymore. I wasn't the Sheila I had always been. And then came the divorce. I've spoken on a video about my divorce. I really worked on myself after that separation and prior to meeting my now husband. I worked on myself. And I told myself that the person that I met, if I met, that I was going to spend the rest of my life with, would have to accept me for me. I found myself in Asheville for a training seminar. Place I'd gone many times with him for training near the Biltmore Village. And while he was in training, I would wander those streets and go in and out of those little shops. Well, here I am, separated in Asheville, and I'm alone. And it was very bittersweet. After my training sessions and in the evenings, I would go out and roam those same streets, feeling quite melancholy, feeling quite forlorn over my current situation. There was one shop I enjoyed going into. I had become friends with the little lady that owned the shop. She was an older woman. I was in my 30s, so she was probably in her late 60s. Up until a few years ago, we always exchanged cards. I don't get those anymore. She's passed. But on that day in 1997, I wandered into that little shop and I stumbled upon a greeting card. It was huge. It was about this big. And as I started reading the words, I just felt tears leak from my eyes. I know you all have heard of the Red Hat Society. This poem was written by Jenny Joseph in 1996. I stumbled upon it in 1997, and years later the Red Hat Society sort of adopted it as their own. They didn't ask her permission, and she never objected. But the name of this poem is Warning. As I was reading that poem, many of you probably are familiar with this poem, I saw a piece of myself. When I am old, I shall wear purple with a red hat, which doesn't go and doesn't suit me, and I shall spend my pension on brandy and summer gloves and satin sandals and say, we've no money for butter. I shall sit down on the pavement when I am tired and gobble up samples in the shops and press alarm bells and run my stick along the public railings and make up for the sobriety of my youth. I shall go out in my slippers in the rain and pick the flowers in other people's gardens and learn to spit. You can wear terrible shirts and grow more fat and eat 3 pounds of sausages at a go or only bread and pickle for a week and hoard pens and pencils and beer mats and things in boxes. There's my little box. But for now, we must have clothes that keep us dry and pay our rent and not swear in the streets and set a good example for the children. We must have friends to dinner and read the papers. But maybe I ought to practice a little now so people who know me are not too shocked and surprised when suddenly I am old and start to wear purple. I realized standing in that shop I had become old before my time. Much of my youth, 18 through the 20s, had been spent married to someone that I allowed to snuff me out. I allowed it. My personality had been snuffed out. I was no longer the person I used to be. I picked up that card. I had it framed, and I always had it in whatever office I was working in, and later had it blown up and framed, and it hung in one of our buildings. That poem sort of jump-started me to get my old self back. Yes, my youth was very sobering. Then the other night, I believe it was Saturday, someone subscribed, commented on their hair, not their hair, their makeup and their clothing, and they weren't wearing what they wanted to. And I had experienced that also. Suddenly, I'm a 50-plus-year-old woman, and the world is telling me how I should look, how I should not look, how I should wear my hair. I shouldn't have long hair. I shouldn't have this. I shouldn't wear this color of eyeshadow. I shouldn't. And once again, I felt like I was being snuffed out, but this time by the world, because now I am a 55-year-old woman, and I have no significance to the world. When she told me she wasn't wearing styles or colors of makeup that she wanted to because she felt insecure about it, I responded, don't listen to the noise of the world. Don't listen. I've quit listening to the world. I don't run around with glitter on my eyelids or crazy outfits. Some people may think my look is not appropriate. I've had comments about my eyeshadow, but I don't listen to the world anymore. And I don't want you to listen to the world either. Know yourself. Be yourself. Nobody can be a better you than you. Let your true personality come out. I hid mine for 18 years. My personality was locked up in a little box, and I acted and spoke and did things the way that I thought someone else wanted me to. So that's my story. You know, people can say something about me. They can speak ill of me. It doesn't bother me. I can go, and go on, or, say whatever. But when someone says something or does something to people I love and care about, my loved ones, this 55-year-old woman might open her mouth. And I felt a little of that when this subscriber told me she was insecure about what to wear because of what the world said about how we as mature women should look and act. Just look and act yourself. Be yourself. Don't listen to the noise of the world. I hope you have a great day. I hope you make it a great day. And that's my story. Bye now.